Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out the Exploding Ants DLC for Empires of the Undergrowth. It's available on Steam for about $5 or so, and as such, there's not a whole lot of new content. It adds two new, groups or races, whatever, factions to the game. There's the Exploding Ants and the Exploding Termites. And you've also got two new levels in the extra levels section. There's the Harvest Firebreak and Frontline No Ants Land. I haven't had a chance to actually check those out yet. I spent most of my time in the custom area messing around with like different abilities and figuring out which of the new insects actually explode, because you'll get workers and you'll get majors and soldiers and then the termites. They have their own set of creatures that you can construct. But if you want to take that one step further, you can actually in the custom colony setup under the skirmish and free play section, you'll be able to see what each of these new exploding creatures can do as far as abilities are concerned. Like the other insects in this game, you can assign two abilities to them and you can pick between two of them on each slot. So, you can do like a controlled burst or extreme toxins or extreme confusion. It's up to you. But all of that is found under the custom colony setup. So if you want to like mess around with unit abilities, that's the place to do it. Okay, and I highly recommend checking that out. Now, as you probably have guessed based on the name of the DLC, it's just about ants and termites exploding. They're effectively suicide bombers that will just mess up large groups of ants, assuming you can maneuver your groups to do that. There's a new button. You can enable or disable this auto thesis, I think is how you pronounce it. And only the soldier has it on the Exploding Ant faction. There's actually three different ants that you can make, or brood tiles that you can make. There's the Exploding Ant Worker, which does not explode. It's just called the Exploding Ant Worker. There's the Exploding Ant Soldier, which does explode, but you can toggle that on or off. Okay, that's the only one in this faction that will actually explode. And then lastly, you've got the Exploding Ant Major Soldier. Again, this is just a title. This Exploding Ant Major doesn't actually explode. It does have some like unique underground abilities and stuff like that. And the termites have two creatures that you can add. They have their own unique food storage tile, but it's just a standard food tile, to be honest. It's just the reason why it's like special is because the termites don't consume food the way ants do. Instead, there's wood that you collect in the environment. Anytime you pick a termite faction, it's just a bunch of wood scattered around. But anyway, so there's a worker and there's a soldier. Even though they both say exploding, only the worker will explode. And again, there is a toggle for that. So you can turn that on or off. And the longer you leave the worker termites alive, I guess the stronger the explosion becomes. There's tooltips for those, and if you missed it, go back and pause it so you can reread all of those ability tooltips and all of the different creature type work tooltips. That'll give you some clue as to what you're in for. Okay. So there's even a new question mark button on the very bottom of the screen. You can click on that, click on a unit in the environment, and it'll tell you all about it. Now, I'm guessing that might have been included without the DLC, and I just missed it because I haven't played the game in a while. I just thought that was a cool, unique feature to the game. But as I said, the termites typically, they gather the wood. They don't get food from killing creatures, so you just have to kind of reinvent your playstyle around that. And, but they do pretty much the same thing. You send the workers. It's weird sending termite workers into an enemy nest, but that's what they're good at. They're the ones that explode. So ideally what you want to do is you want to send your soldiers in with the termites, group up a bunch of enemies, and then you send in your workers to explode everything and blow up a bunch of enemy guys. That's what you're going to be doing, typically across both of these new factions. So all in all, for $5, it's not bad. Like I said, there's two new levels, two new factions, some unique units to look at. Do I recommend it? I mean, it's not necessary. It really isn't necessary because you get a lot of playtime out of the core game, but at the same time, these developers have done a lot of work on the core game, and this is a good way to support them to continue releasing content. I just sincerely hope they don't go the Paradox Interactive route and release thousands of DLC for little things. Or the EA route. I just hope it doesn't turn into that. But yeah, definitely support the developers because they've done a really good job with the core game, and it'd be nice to see a lot more content. Well, this is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.